It's like annoyingly boring.
I guess I just don't feel that at all. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the New Music Podcast. This time around, we got both of us here. Say hello to the people once again, Micah.
Hello to the people.
There we go, yeah. We're back up in here. We got us both. We're vibing. We're hanging out.
Hanging out and vibing.
Hanging out and vibing, yes. And we've got 5 records that are pretty big cultural moments this time around. You want to run through the list and tell them what we got serving up on the platter this week, Micah?
We have Future and Metro Boomin on a record together. We Don't Trust You. They're out here not trusting you with their raps.
Absolutely.
And then we have another rapper, Matt Champion, formerly from Brockhampton, out here with his first solo album, correct?
Yes, yeah, his first time really doing solo music other than a few singles, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out here with a new album. And then we have Adrianne Lenker with her new album, Bright Future.
Indeed we do.
It's sad cowboy vibes. Out here crying in the fucking parking lot, brother.
Crying with your horse.
Crying with the horses.
Crying with the horses.
And then Shakira dropped a new album. Oh, God.
First in 7 years.
I can't say.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be butchering Spanish again today. It's our hobby,
So sorry.
Yeah.
Shakira's new album. I'm sorry, everybody.
We'll go with Las Mujeres Ya No Lloran?
Sure.
I don't know. We'll go with that.
Then we have Julia Holter with her new album, Something in the Room She Moves.
All right, so that's our lineup for the week. And first, we're going to move on into maybe the biggest rap album of the year so far, Metro Boomin and Future with We Don't Trust You.
If young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot. We don't trust you, niggas. Had to buy another mansion, I'm getting claustrophobic. When I bought a bigger Maybach, I'm getting claustrophobic.
I won't drop the location, I still got PTSD. Motherfuck the big 3. Nigga, it's just big me. Nigga, boom!
Young Metro don't trust you, he gonna shoot.
Exactly. It's such a cool moment that they're like wrapping it back around with the beat tag too. I do love this whole thing like in concept. I saw that this was dropping and it's like that goes hard. That's fucking awesome. And apparently there's going to be a second album too that they're also collaborating on. I think it's going to be called We Still Don't Trust You, which is also so hard. But what did you end up thinking of this record as a whole?
Yeah, so this new Fetro, that's what their combined name is.
Fetro. The ship name.
Yeah.
That's insane, bro.
Love this album, bro. It went hard. It wasn't like the greatest rap album I've ever heard, but it's fun, and I'm having a good time with it the whole way through.
Yeah, it's decent vibes.
Even on the lows.
Yeah, even then, yeah, it's a pretty good time.
But and then they come in with that controversial fucking song, Kendrick Lamar with Like That. That song.
Yeah, man, this is a big moment for mainstream hip hop because, yeah, J. Cole and Drake were really just like kind of showing him some love on their song together, and he's just like, nah, fuck you both. I'm so much better. And the crazy thing is, he's not really wrong, so you can't really blame him. And the verse goes ridiculously hard.
Yeah, it does, bro.
Yeah. The fucking Pet Cemetery line in there, I'm just like, oh my god, he really did it to him. Like, I kind of feel like J. Cole is just catching strays in this beef, and it's more just Kendrick shitting on Drake directly, but I mean, still, like, we love to see it. I'm really curious how Drake's gonna fumble this beef, because I feel like it's just gonna be another Pusha T situation, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's out here ready to just kind of not end his career, because obviously he can't do that, but postpone it. We'll say that much. It's also so unexpected that this happens on a Future album, because Future and Drake have like many songs together. Drake was on Future's last album on I think 2 different songs, if I remember correctly.
How do you think this even like came about with like Kendrick? What do you think Kendrick like heard the song was like, what's the next big rap album coming out? I need to roast him on it.
Yeah, I really don't know, and it does make me wonder if Future is having beef with Drake behind the scenes, because like Future's basically co-signing this verse by putting Kendrick on the album like this. So, like, does Future also have a problem with Drake now? I don't know. There's a lot to discuss with it. It's strange. Because that would be really weird. They go back a ways.
Maybe it's something along the lines of like, hey man, that was stupid.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And it's not like beef. It's like shut up, dude.
Yeah, but if we are to talk about that song in general, I also think that it's like the perfect rap banger just in general, because the beat on that is just stupid hard.
It was hard to like try to separate that to like objectively see how I feel about the track. But it ended up being my favorite track on the album after I was able to like separate that.
I think that it's most people's, because it very well might be the best instrumental on here. Future does his thing and does it pretty well on this track, and then yeah, you do have that crazy hard Kendrick Lamar verse on here that, you know, is again such a moment right now. I think that the run of tracks that comes kind of just in the beginning of this first 6 songs here, it's honestly a really good run. I don't personally like Type Shit that much, but I know that a lot of people are enjoying it.
Yeah, I wasn't huge on it.
Yeah, the Cardi feature on here is weird. I have not listened to Utopia or Vultures, so those were the last places he appeared. I don't know if this is his style now of rapping. I guess I haven't heard like the new snippets and or songs that Cardi's been putting out. I haven't really like been paying super close attention to him. So if this is how he sounds now in general, that is a very strange departure from Whole Lotta Red. I don't know what to think, but I know a lot of people are enjoying Type Shit. And then yeah, the other 4 tracks in that 6-track run are just fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the intro to the whole album was a fucking moment.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
We Don't Trust You is my second favorite track.
I think it's worth being your second favorite track. It does feel like an intro for the album to me, but not in a way where it's not a significant song. Like, it just kind of kicks things off right. Really just like sets up the themes and the aesthetic of the project in general. And then instantly going into Young Metro right after that.
Oh my god.
The Weeknd's vocals, like, just kind of accenting everything, and like the back half of it sounds so good.
Yes, definitely something I'm going to be coming back to a lot. Like, I believe there was a few, I don't want to say duds, but like duds.
There's some filler in the back half for sure, and I'm gonna be honest with you, there's kind of a lot of it. There's songs that I just don't think anybody's gonna remember in a few weeks here.
Like, my least favorite being Magic Don Juan.
Yeah, yep, same. I think that one is pretty fillery in general, but I also think that he's like mixed really weird in the first verse. Like, the vocals just don't sound right.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, I also didn't care much for Seen It All. Ain't No Love is kind of a whatever song. Slimed In is kind of a whatever song to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Honestly, the last 4 tracks, like Everyday Hustle was good, but then GTA Seen It All, What the Fuck You Mean, and Where My Twin At. I know Where My Twin At's a bonus track. It didn't have to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, those aren't super memorable ones. I think GTA and What the Fuck You Mean are some of my favorites in that back half, but they aren't like ones that I'm specifically going to come back to all the time.
Yeah.
Out of this like back half of the album that is a little bit more spotty and hit or miss, I think my favorite is Fried. Did you like Fried?
Fried, she a vibe.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
I think that's kind of a banger. Yeah. Future's just kind of doing his Future thing, and Metro Boomin's just kind of doing his Metro Boomin thing.
Hell.
There's not really going to be a lot of super unexpected moments outside of that Kendrick verse.
Yeah, dude. Also, this album cover goes fucking hard, bro.
It really does. It's such a fucking hard image, man. I love it.
Hell yeah.
Overall, though, I think listening to the whole project at once is just not a rewarding experience at all.
No.
Because you've got like almost an hour worth of music here, and it is just too consistent from song to song with how it sounds. And I do have to give them some credit, because this is a weird sentence, but it's only 17 tracks. Because I have seen very similar formatted rap and trap and mainstream hip hop, whatever, albums that are like 20 to 25 songs.
Yes, yeah.
Very glad we didn't end up with 20 to 25 because there's less filler here.
This could have been like 13 tracks, like an album.
Yep.
12, 13 tracks.
I usually end up saying that. It's like if we had a more normal amount of songs, like for a traditional album, and you just put slightly more effort into each one, then this would be like a great album as opposed to a decent, good, whatever you want to say one.
It's a good album.
Yeah, it's good. I don't know. Do you have any other specific thoughts you wanted to give on it?
Not really. I think we covered everything.
Yeah, it's a moment. It's a moment in time.
What's your score?
My score for this ends up being a 66.
Oh, I gave it a 75.
You give it a 75. Wow. Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad you liked it that much. I guess I also have in my mind that I was a big fan of Future's last album, and it had more songs that I'm gonna walk away like remembering for a longer period of time. So I do kind of have that in my mind as well. I don't know. You aren't really very familiar with Future's back catalog, are you?
Not really.
Yeah, I would just say that this is like some of his standard stuff, not his best, not his worst.
Yeah.
But either way, yeah, so I mean, we're feeling positively on it either way for both of us, though.
I'm looking at the album page right now, and I think our average scores just end up equaling the like actual user score. You gave it the critic score, and I just gave it higher than the user score.
Yeah, we came out at a 70.5%, so I'm not sure.
It's a 71, I think.
Oh,
I
nice.
clicked off of it.
Great. Well, I guess we reached the middle ground at some point then. So there we go.
Yeah, it's 71.
71. Yeah. Well, we're at 70.5 between the two of us. So
That's
it's
really
basically the
funny.
same. It's basically the same. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah. But
All right. Next up, we have Matt Champion coming at us with Mika's Laundry.
Say hallelujah for me, so I know you are hot. Good book in a ponytail. You say you shy, but I know you are.
I just shot two bitches fucking raw in the ones. Me on my this is some weird shit. Super spell, watch your country.
Could be Mika's Laundry. I've seen my name spelled like that before. I
yeah, I think it's Mika, but
think it's Mika too.
you know, it's funnier if we just imagine that it's your name.
My
Pretend it is.
laundry. It's my laundry, bro. Give it back.
Why does Matt Champion have your laundry in?
Matt Champion. Give it back. My laundry doesn't fit you. I guarantee it. I stand by it.
Stand by that assessment. But we both have a little bit of history with Brockhampton, so we're a little bit familiar with Matt Champion. I was a pretty big fan of them for most of the time that they existed as a band, as a group.
I hopped on when Ginger came out.
That's about when I hopped on too, but I did know some of the Saturation stuff before, and then I was just like a pretty big fan for the rest of their existence as a collective, I suppose.
I've been a casual listener. I really liked Roadrunner.
Roadrunner was great, and yeah, and Ginger is honestly like one of my favorite albums.
Ginger does go hard. I did like Saturation though. Like technically I was a casual listener even like when the Saturation era, because my teacher, who was a big Run the Jewels guy, also listened to like the Saturation albums.
Yeah, so I guess we are kind of on the same page Brockhampton-wise in general. But I think it's really interesting to look back at Brockhampton and see where they're at now, because I really expected Don McLennan to have the best solo career, other than, Captain Abstract, who was already established. But I expected him to do the most solo, and so far that looks pretty grim. And Matt Champion, I would say, is doing the most interesting things of anybody in the group so far. Would you agree?
I really like this album, man.
Really? You didn't like it?
It's not bad. It was mid.
Oh, man. I thought it was pretty cool. I think he's doing a little bit too much sometimes.
That's where my mid diss comes from. It's like, calm down, bro.
This goes off the deep end a few times, and I do appreciate that he's going experimental with it, because I didn't picture that happening at all. I thought that we were going to get like Rex Orange County again, basically.
That's true.
But no, he's like going pretty abstract with it. It's kind of all over the place.
Would you say he's going Kevin Abstract with it?
Yeah, no pun intended, but I do suppose. The only song I heard before the album came out was Aphid with Dijon, and I think that might still be my favorite.
I think that was the best track.
Yeah, I like a lot of what's happening here. There's strange moments on this album that I wasn't expecting at all, though. Did you have specific thoughts on GBIV?
GBIV.
The, harder fourth track on this album.
I didn't. I don't know why, man. This whole, album listening experience, I just wasn't, enthused. It felt like I wanted just a little bit more.
That's fair. I don't think it's all the way there yet, to be honest with you.
Yeah, GBIV. I'm looking at you right now. This is good. It's all good ideas.
The fucking dolphin sounds that he does. What is that? What is going on?
I don't fucking know, bro.
That song is one of the ones that I would use as an example of him going a little far in the deep end and getting a little bit too experimental for what he's doing and just being why are we here right now?
Put back.
Other than that, I mean, dude, most of these songs I could listen to on their own. There is some stuff where I'm yeah, this one's not exactly significant. Scrolling through the track list right now, Everybody Likes You doesn't do much for me. Code Red is cool-ish. It's fine.
I was gonna say Code Red was
Another thing that I noticed, and I believe this is probably completely coincidental, but he sounds like Quadeca on both Code Red and Aren't You Excited back to back. I'm why am I listening to Quadeca right now?
Hold on.
I don't know. Did you pick up on that at all?
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I'm hearing it now that you said something. I don't know if it's just you or
I can't unhear it.
I can't now either. Fuck you.
Yeah, it sounds like some of the songs on Scrapyard, but I believe this was probably being worked on at the same time as Scrapyard, so that's why I say it's probably coincidental. Still, it's strange. It's strange how that worked out. But this does sit in kind of the same space as some of the more chill moments on Scrapyard did for me. I think he's got some fun hooks across the project. He's just really good at making songs in general, but I think most of them could have been a little bit more fleshed out in general.
Yeah, I say this a lot, but I'm excited to see what his next album is.
Yeah, right. I think he's going to go more interesting, well, at least more fleshed out places in the future. More complete album is definitely in his future.
I think this one needed to cook a little more.
Yeah, I do think that I'll probably have it on and then eventually end up picking up favorites that I don't have right now as favorites, because usually with these kind of more pop rap, just kind of chills in the background for me, and then certain tracks will click eventually that don't right away.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I'm going to be coming back to this. Another song I liked was Slug a lot and Slow Motion, just to give those two a shout out.
I think I wrote down those two were
Yeah.
I wrote down I recognize that Slug and Slow Motion are good tracks, but it's not my cup of tea.
Okay. I would say this is probably more something that I'd be into than you, so I guess it makes sense overall. So, you just kind of feeling lukewarm on it? Do you have any specific things to say about it?
I don't really have anything interesting to say besides my hot take of it being kind of mid, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
I gave it a 55 out of 100. What was your total score?
I ended up with a 74 on this one, but you know what? If it didn't click for you, it didn't click. That's fine.
I wrote 55 out of 100 and then hot take ?
Yeah, I think it is. I think this is being accepted pretty well. And honestly, I just love to see that, because I was a little bit worried how any of the Brockhampton guys were going to end up after the whole split up. But I think we can safely say that Matt Champion's going to be having a solid career from this point going forward.
Oh, yeah, no. I look at the user score. The user score is 73. It's just me and the Melon not liking this.
I mean, he gave it a 6, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, that's still decent.
Which I get a 55. It's yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure there's a lot of people who kind of feel the same, where it's just there's some tendencies of this where it's a little bit slapdash with certain aspects of it, and it's just a little bit not complete. That's what I'd say. But he has maybe a perfect album in him somewhere, for me personally.
Show me your perfect album.
Yeah, right. He can go further.
All right. If you're solid to move on.
Yeah, I think so.
Up next, we have Adrianne Lenker with Sad Cowboy Music, a.k.a. Bright Future.
The seasons go so fast, thinking that this one was gonna last. Falling, yeah, falling.
This is another like kind of huge moment for music going on.
Yeah, this one's a purple star.
Yeah, we got 2 purple stars this week, which is insane. That never happens. And if you guys don't know what we mean by purple stars, that's an album of the year thing. It means that both the critic and user score is above 80, and they have like a certain threshold that it needs to cross in amount of reviews as well. So this is the first of 2 that we're going to be talking about this week. And I think it's absolutely deserving of that prestige of the purple star. Would you say so as well?
Yeah, dude. When I looked at it a few days ago, it was about to like drop out of purple star. It was at like 80.
Really?
It's back up to 85.
Are you mixing it up with the Julia Holter one? Because that one's currently sitting at 80.
No, it was this one specifically. It almost fell out of it. It went back up though. People came back and fixed it.
Yeah, I think it needs to sit right where it's at. I think that 85 is deserving, whether I think that's exactly where it's at or not. This does feel like an 85 moment in music.
Yeah, all this fucking ow.
Bro, yeah, it's something.
Maybe cry, bro.
Me too.
My favorite track was Evil, and my fucking notes for it was, oh my god.
Oh no, you're gonna hate me.
Oh no, is Evil your least favorite track?
By a lot. I'm sorry. Oh god, and I know it's just me too, but I can't. He just left the Discord call and came back.
Yeah, for dramatic effect.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Don't like Evil? What's wrong with you?
I can't get behind it, dude. Because like this,
get out.
Oh, love backwards is evil thing. Like this has been done so many times, man. And the way she's spelling things backwards throughout the whole song just feels very like I'm 14 and this is deep to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, bro. That's why it's good.
No, but it's so. I'm sorry. I just can't look at it other than corny.
Let me live my sad cowgirl lifestyle, bro.
No, I know it's just me though. Like that's the thing. Everybody else likes this song too, and
yeah,
I'm just sitting here. I'm just
God.
sitting here like raining on everybody's parade, and I fully realize that. And I wish I wasn't, but it just doesn't click for me in a way that I like.
The popularity contest though is Sadness is a Gift is number 1, Ruin is number 2, Evil is number 3, and Evil is tied with Free Treasure.
Yeah, and I think that that's absolutely fucking ridiculous because Vampire Empire exists, and you didn't list off that song in that like top run of tracks.
It is next. It has an 88, but it's tied with Fool and Donut Seam.
Man, I love Vampire Empire a lot. I know that it's the song that has the lore about it where it wasn't the original version at first and now it is the original version. Whatever, man. I hardly ever listened to the Big Thief version enough to really care about it, but I like this version better than the Big Thief version, and it also just clicked with me in general. I think that this is the best lyricism on the album. It's the most like raw and just potently emotional track to me. It just hits. Like, I love the way it sounds instrumentally. I love the way the song is written. There's imagery all throughout it in the writing that's like just super solid. It just does everything that it can do, in my experience.
It's such a good track, bro. It's my second favorite.
That's so good.
By like barely. It's barely not my favorite track.
I do have a playlist of the best songs I've ever heard, and that went on there like right away.
Understandable. I wouldn't put Evil on that playlist just because I don't want a fucking hand grenade.
You don't want to just like run into that at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing that you want to expect.
My favorite tracks on this fucking album are all like, I have them all as like 9 out of 10s. It's Vampire Empire, Sadness is a Gift, and then Ruined.
I think it's a little bit strange that this is happening, but I might actually like this album more than you did overall, despite not liking Evil.
Yeah,
because
probably.
I have more than one 10 out of 10 on this album, song-wise, I mean. No Machine did not really click for me at first, but then the second time through, I was like, oh wow, this is going to make me cry. Holy shit. It's so sweet and peaceful, and it's beautiful, and just...
No Machine right now is not my least favorite track, but it's down there.
That's fair. It didn't do a lot for me at first, but then I was like, Eventually.
There's no bad tracks on this album. They're all good.
I wouldn't call Evil bad. I wouldn't call it bad because
Better
it does still sound super nice, but for me it's by far the closest thing, and I would skip it 9 times out of 10 when listening to this.
Candle Flame's my least favorite track.
Candle Flame doesn't really do much. I look at it as more of an interlude, but that is my second least favorite, and I don't think that's a hot take.
It's not. Unfortunately, Candle Flame's right after Evil though, so
Oh yeah, so I'd probably just double tap the skip button and then bada boom, I'm all good.
and for me it's like, oh, this isn't Vampire Empire or Evil, so it can't be the best.
I have listened to Vampire Empire so many times between when I first heard this album and now.
Given time, these are my notes from my very first listen. I've listened to it 1.5 times since then. And given my, like, what I know it's going to happen, I feel like Evil and Vampire Empire are going to swap for me. And
don't let me convince you.
No. It doesn't take a lot. It has a 9. It's a 9.9 out of 10 for me. It's just almost there. But like the intro just goes so hard. Sadness as a Gift will also grow on me over time.
I really think that the way this album is paced in general too is just pretty perfect. Like the way that this was thought out, because if you look at how it starts so slow and just like really brings together a lot of imagery and like stories of previous times in her life with that first track, Real House, and then by the end you just have this like emotional fucking gut punch that is ruined. That song is tragic and
fuck, dude.
Yeah. it's a way to end the album.
You know what this album reminds me of? Reminds me of an album from 2005 by Bright Eyes. I'm Wide Awake, It's Morning.
I believe Bright Eyes was probably an inspiration.
Yeah, and I fucking love that album. This isn't better, but it's so close.
I haven't really heard a lot of Bright Eyes. I know I listened to their 2020 album and liked it a lot at the time, but that is an artist that I've been meaning to dive into more fully in general.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, I know of them, and like I said, I've heard a little bit, so I do think that it's very possible that Adrianne Lenker is calling back to some Bright Eyes stuff, for sure.
I hear that a lot in the song I just heard. Where the fuck did it go? No Machine.
Yeah.
I hear the influence a lot in No Machine.
I could see that for sure, because I mean, then again, if you're just going to kind of get in the sad folk bag, like, it's going to start sounding like Bright Eyes at some point, I think.
Yeah, I know. I'm just hearing the structure and the pace and like the way she says everything and the words she uses. It's just it's all there.
Yeah,
but you're also right.
Right.
You know, even in Vampire Empire, they're coming out with the fucking like, oh my fucking god, holy shit track. Because that's what that is. Evil is the fuck, I'm crying right now.
Yeah.
But Vampire Empire is like the one that I'll be playing the most because I can get through it without fucking sobbing.
Can't relate, but also it is the most like easily listenable, so I can in a way.
That's what I am. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, there's just nothing like bad on the album all the way through.
God, this album so good.
It's really good. It's really good, yeah. I guess it has like a couple of just like slightly lower moments for me, like we were already saying, but even the ones that I don't like quite as much, I'm looking at it like Cell Phone Says doesn't do much for me. Did you care about that one at all?
I don't remember off the top of my dome piece. I don't think.
Yeah.
No, it was good. It wasn't like this is my least favorite bag, but like it was in the middle bag.
Okay. I don't think it's like perfect, but it definitely could be if you look at it right.
Yeah, dude. All right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What are we looking at for time? I don't want to talk about just this album for the whole fucking hour and a half.
Yeah. We probably could. We could do a whole podcast just diving into the lyrics fully of this one, I think.
I feel like we've said our piece. Do you feel the same?
I do. I think we're kind of just basically saying what everybody else is saying too. Like, this shit's just pretty incredible, and that's not a hot take.
What's your score?
My score for this one ends up being an 85.
I liked it more than you, motherfucker. I gave it an 89.
Oh, damn, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm glad you did. For me, like, genuinely Evil brings it down a lot, so if for whatever reason my mind worked right like everyone else's did and I didn't find it corny, then I'd probably be right there with you.
You're corny.
Yeah, a little bit. That's absolutely fair.
Alright, what do we got next?
What do we got next?
Oh, never mind. Let's skip that one. I don't want to talk about Shakira.
Tienes estilo para llamar mi atención. Me tiras tarde. Entre la rutina y el estrés, eres una perra, ya lo sé.
So, well, it is on the list.
Take it off the list.
Take it off the list. You didn't care for the Shakira album?
No, did you?
I think it's okay. I like this a little bit more than most people do, I think, based on the reception that I was seeing. I think it's just kind of fun and not much else.
I like it less.
You like it less, really?
I like it less because I'm looking at it right now. It's got a 52, and I like it less.
Really? I don't really get what there is to hate.
Hate's a strong word. I didn't say hate.
Right, I know, but a lot of people hate it, and giving it below average is just kind of weird to me because it seems like just kind of a regular pop album to me. It's kind of just checking all of the Latin pop boxes and not doing a lot more, but also I don't think it's really bad at any points. Like, there's not really anything that super rubs me the wrong way. I will say that there's a couple tracks where the feature just kind of ruins it for me, or there's like the two very slow songs on here that totally kill it for me in the pacing that I didn't end up liking at all, but it's just really slickly produced too. Like, the drums are fucking on point, bass guitars used sometimes too. I thought it sounds super nice. Shakira's a great vocalist too. That's not a revelation by any means. Everybody already knows Shakira's a great vocalist, but like, she sounds good. The instrumentals are just doing their thing. It's all fine. Like, what did you not like about it, I guess?
I felt like it was fake. I don't know if it's the right word. It felt like awkward, super boring, and like soulless, just like Latin pop. It's like, yeah, I've heard these songs before 1,000 times.
Yeah,
And
I guess.
it gets a little irritating. Like, I have to listen to the whole album. It's 51 minutes. Oh my god.
I think it's a bit less if you chop off those two last songs, which are basically bonus tracks, so I didn't really include them.
Yeah, if you get rid of those tracks, it's takes it down by like 7 minutes, so it goes down to like 44 minutes ish.
Yeah, that's a pretty normal runtime.
Yeah, I guess at that point, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just like boring. It's like annoyingly boring.
I guess I just don't feel that at all points. Like I said, there are some slow songs that I didn't like at all for that reason, just because they bored me a lot. But I mean, I'm not going to try with track titles, but track 6, that one ended up being like one of my favorite Shakira songs I've heard, because it's just like a rock song basically, as opposed to the pop vibe of the other ones. And I think this one's super fun, honestly. That one's a good fucking time. I was surprised to say that I like the song with Cardi B as well, the opener on here.
That opener, I was like, oh god, it's all gonna be bad. No.
Yeah, I don't know.
I did not like Cardi B on that track either. I felt that was really weird that she was there. I was like, what are you doing here? Get out of here.
Sounds okay though. Like, the traditional vibe of track 5, like the more kind of just raw instrumentation and stuff, and I think the feature on that song sounds awesome. They just kind of do their thing. Again, fun vibe. I don't have any strong feelings one way or the other, I guess.
Understandable.
Yeah.
What was your score?
My score on this ended up being a 60.
60? I gave it a 40.
60, 40. All right. Well, we balance out directly in the middle then, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the user score.
Oh, really? Nice. Do you have like specific songs you want to mention before we move on or anything?
I didn't like. I had a hard time writing down the track names, so I was just vibing the whole album together.
Oh no. I just copied and pasted, but I truly don't know how any of it's pronounced. Again, having the hobby of butchering Spanish like we do, but
that's why I'm avoiding talking about specific tracks.
Honestly, I should pick up Spanish instead of French, but here we are. Yeah. But okay, kind of standard pop record, and we feel kind of standard on it, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's songs I'll come back to on there. There's songs that I put on my playlist, honestly. The ones that I mentioned, so.
I will be skipping those tracks.
Alrighty. Well, that is just fine. We've got one more left for the week.
this fucking album. What is she looking for in that man's ass?
Yeah. I don't think that's what's supposed to be depicted here. I don't know.
I read that, and that's all I can see now.
Yeah, I read the same review as you, I think, and, man...
And then a review below it was like, who cares what's in that man's ass? Sounds good. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I hate that I read that as well, because this is a cool album cover. It's really neat, and it's very abstract and whatever.
You know
but
what? Now it's even cooler.
It's even cooler now, you think?
It's even cooler now.
I can't unsee that, though.
It's fine. I'm fine with that being it.
Alright, well... Anyways, talking about the actual fucking music here. This one's crazy.
I believe it was called chamber jazz.
Yeah, chamber jazz is one
Ambient
thing
pop.
you could say.
Post minimalism, art pop. I'm just reading the album of the year genre tags now.
Yeah, just reading the genre tags, but I think art pop's kind of the biggest thing. My most coherent frames of reference for this are FKA Twigs and Bjork, and both of them kind of fall under.
I took an edible at the start of the recording, and it's kicking in, and I listened to whatever album we're talking about. I can't do that right now. Oh my god, stop.
Yeah, that would freak you out.
I'm freaked out already, bro.
This is the type of album to just really take you in and be like, what the fuck is going on?
I had a hard time getting words. What I wrote down, but was able to manage to write down, is I was like, what the fuck is this, brother?
Yeah.
And then it was, this is the Rorschach, you know, like the fucking ink splotches, and it's like, oh, it's a
Rorschach?
Yeah, it's a Rorschach test, but music.
And honestly, the album cover kind of is that too, because you could see a lot of different things in this. And again, unfortunately, the ass thing is the only thing I can see now. But yeah, it's all extremely abstract. And I also like that comparison because there's usually so much going on. Like, there's so many instruments layered over each other that sometimes I would just sit there and like pick out which one I wanted to listen to. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna listen to the flute now. Or like, oh, there's some synths doing some crazy shit. All right, that's cool. And I think it just makes the more minimalist moments on the album a lot more interesting in the fact that most of it's so chaotic.
Yeah, bro. And then you got the track Me You. It sounds like my parents being sacrificed.
Me You is so cool to me, and I understand that most people aren't liking that song. But
really? What?
Yeah, no, it has the lowest ratings. I'm looking there, but I'm just by far. It has a 62 if we're looking at album of the year, but also I've just heard other people not dig it. But I think that it really adds to the immersion, and I appreciate that she had the guts to literally just repeat the phrase for 6 straight minutes. That's insane.
God, the lyrics were available in Apple Music, now they're not.
Oh, they're not?
That goes to show it. They were, but now they're... Maybe mine's just bugging.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, from you, they're gone.
That's so weird. I mean, it is one lyric, though. It's just being repeated over and over again.
Also, I screenshot the lyrics, and I don't fucking remember what track it was. I forgot to write it down. The lyric was, what is delicious and what is omniscient? And I'm just like, hey, yo, calm down.
Yeah, the lyrics on this album are strange.
Yeah, bro. I don't even know how to, like, even talk about this album past what I wrote down.
Were you digging into the lyrics at all with it? Because I tried to.
I did a little bit, but it kept freaking me out, so I stopped.
That's absolutely fair. They're so strange. I don't know what to get from any of it. And that's not usually how I feel. I usually like to dive into the poetry of it all. But with this one, I'm just like, what are you saying? Like, these don't...
What is blood yapping about?
These words don't go next to each other, man. Like, the line that I wrote down kind of... similarly to yours is, when I'm in the furniture, I believe what I can. That is on the title track. What does that mean, dude? Man? Like,
hell yeah.
It sounds so cool that I want to know what anything means on here, but I'm just like, I'm lost. You've lost me.
It means what it means, dog. Just read it.
I suppose I will. She meant what she said.
Meant what she said. Forever.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting anything like this with this album at all. It really just like instantly took me in and I was completely immersed in the experience, and I just don't even know what to make of what actually ended up coming of it.
I keep listening to it because I just can't stop, and it's giving me a panic attack, bro.
There's so much going on. It really is like an overstimulating listen in a way. What did you think of the instrumental song on here? I think it's called Ocean.
Ocean? Fucking shit smacks, bro.
Yeah, that one was a really weird moment for me.
Fucking freaks me out, bro. It sounds like whales are gonna eat me.
Yeah, it really does fit the title in a weird, cool sort of way. And it's got that like high-pitched sound that just like sticks there for a really long time.
It's the whale coming to eat you, bro.
It's the whale coming to eat you. Yeah, at first like it becomes like almost a little bit annoying, but then the way other things get added in and layered in, it's like, oh no, actually it's perfect. It's so weird. What's done with sound here is just odd. I love it though.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's fucking radical, bro.
It is pretty radical. Pretty radical indeed.
I was like, what? It's got 167 ratings that are 90 plus.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to give it any less than that unless it doesn't click for you at any point.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12, 13 people gave it a 100. That's a surprisingly low number. I thought like more people would be like, oh my god.
It's not like really that close to perfect for me, just because sometimes I'm like a little bit puzzled by the choices.
Yeah, it's like, why such much?
Yeah, right. Like, why are the songs so long sometimes?
I gave it an 85.
I ended up giving this an 80, but it has room to grow on me.
Hell yeah. At first I gave it an 80, and then upon further listens it went to an 85. So that tells you anything.
I would say that I've had the least time with this one this week, just because it was such a close listening album. You can't really turn this on in the car, you know what I mean? And it's also kind of long, so I didn't really get a lot of chances to spend a lot of time with it. So I think that could go up in the future for me. But yeah, we're both pretty far in the positive for it anyways.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, great record. Totally recommend that everyone here check it out and just see if you're into it, because, you know, you might not be, but it's definitely worth checking.
Yeah, you're legally obligated to listen to this one.
It's a moment. Again, we have a lot of albums this week that are just a moment in time. I don't know how else to put it.
Wake up moment.
Yeah. Something like that. Does that close off your thoughts for it?
That thoughts my closes off.
Sounds good. So then we'll move on to our final portion here with our ratings for the week. Things are looking pretty interesting for this week's scores. We'll go bottom to top, and at our bottom placement is Shakira's album, sitting at a 50% passable pop record. I thought it was kind of fun, and you thought it was kind of not fun, I guess.
Yeah. I had a bad time.
You had a bad time? I had a pretty good time. But is what it is. Matt Champion's experimental pop and hip-hop record, Mika's Laundry, is coming in at 4th place for the week at 64.5%. And then coming in at our middle placement, number 3, is Future and Metro Boomin's We Don't Trust You at 70.5%. And then at our second place, we have Julia Holter's extremely interesting art pop record from this week at an 82.5%. And top for the week, pretty predictably, and just as it should be, Adrianne Lenker's new album at an 87%.
Yes, sir.
So that's what we're looking at. Pretty good week. We listened to some awesome stuff.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man. That's just about going to do it for this week. And Micah, do you have anything to say to the people?
The gnome in the forest says the ancient truths will no longer be honored.
That's pretty wholesome. And we'll see you next week. So that's our lineup for the week, and son of a bitch. And first up, like we said,